Now moving on to the classic series books. First off, I have Fear Itself. I've read a little bit of this. This is an Eighth Doctor book, and what they did, because the Eighth Doctor, he was in a TV movie on Fox. It was kind of a joint venture between the BBC and I think Universal, but it aired on Fox in 1996, and it was kind of like a backdoor pilot, so they could do a TV series in America. And while the movie did really well in the UK, it bombed in the US. So no new series came about. And Paul McGann, who played the Eighth Doctor, did a great job, by the way. I love Paul McGann. He wasn't able to continue on as the Doctor, but what they did is they continued on the Eighth Doctor story in book form. And while I have read a little bit of this one, I really want to start at the beginning and try to read them in order. All the Eighth Doctor books. The only problem is that some of the like, I think the first one's called The Eight Doctors, and I think that's on Amazon for like $30–50. So some of the early Eighth Doctor books are fairly expensive. They started coming out with these, I think it was around 1999, around that time. But I've read a little bit of this one, and the story is quite good in it so far. So I definitely recommend seeing that one. Next we have Trading Futures. This is another Eighth Doctor book. Then we have a Sixth Doctor book, Grave Matter. And really, if you're interested in picking any of these books, you can get quite a few of them off of Amazon from different third-party sellers, usually for around like $1 or $2. I mean, it's really not bad for some of them, but some do get up quite high in price. Then we have Tomb of Vladimir, the Fourth Doctor book. And we have Heart of TARDIS. This is a Second Doctor and Fourth Doctor book. Next we have World Game, and I have read this one all the way through, and it's quite a good story. This is written by Terrance Dicks, who has written a large amount of Doctor Who books. But this one goes into the Season 6B theory, where that the Second Doctor, when he was captured by the Time Lords, wasn't exiled to Earth immediately and forced to regenerate. He was actually used by the Time Lords to complete these various missions, and this starts that out. And it's a really good read. Next we have Autumn Mist. This is another Eighth Doctor story. Haven't read it yet. Bunker Soldiers. This is written by Martin Day. This is a First Doctor book with companions Stephen and Dodo. I've read a little bit of it, but really only like the first couple chapters. It's okay so far. Then we have The 11th Tiger. This is written by David A. McGinty. And from what I have read of this one, this is quite good. It's set in China in 1865, and it's from what I've read, it's fun so far. I really like it. Next we have a Second Doctor story. It is The Indestructible Man by Simon Messingham. So we have Byzantium. Yeah, sorry, Byzantium. That's fine. But this is written by Keith Topping. Now, this one actually takes place during a televised adventure during the Romans, because I think at the beginning of the Romans that they had already been in Rome for like a month already. So this kind of tells the story of what happened in that month. Now we have another Eighth Doctor book. It's The Slow Empire. This is by Dave Stone. Another Eighth Doctor book. This is The Ancestor's Cell. Another Eighth Doctor book. It is To the Slaughter. This is one of the last in the Eighth Doctor series. We have a Fifth Doctor novel, Imperial Moon. This is by Christopher Bullis. who I've heard has written quite a few good Doctor Who books. This one I couldn't get into. Had a nice idea about kind of like Victorian spaceships and things like that, but it just didn't work for me. Now we have, this is a 7th Doctor book, Prime Time. This is another one that I started reading and just couldn't put it down. It's a really good book by Mike Tucker. And this has a unique storytelling, because this is pretty much set up like a 4-parter of the show. It has cliffhangers at the end of each part, and it's a lot of twists, and it makes fun of television in general, and of Doctor Who as well. It's just really, really fun. Next we have Atom Bomb Blues. This is another 7th Doctor venture, and this is written by Andrew Cartmel, who was script editor for the last couple seasons of the 7th Doctor series. But I haven't read this one either. But that's it for my Doctor Who collection, guys. Thanks.